Hello, everybody. My name is Clarence Napier. I'm the owner of the insurance brokerage, and we are licensed in Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Washington State, and California. I'm also the lead consultant with my company, 321 Biz Development, located both in Metro Atlanta and San Francisco. Today's podcast episode is about power and prospecting. And let me add that 321 Biz Development is the home of mastering the 5 front end sales activities, which include contacting, prospecting, setting appointments, closing, and getting zero cost referrals. And we've been in business on the business development side since November 1st, 2014. And we support white collar small business owners who sell big ticket items. And those industries include accountants, CPAs, dentists, plastic surgeons, estate planners, real estate brokers and agents, insurance agents, financial planners, blue collar industries such as electricians, plumbers, people who do floor tiling, people who do commercial, repair activities. And again, any company that is selling a product or service for $1,000 and higher, because there's a different mindset that the potential customer has when the price is $1,000 and higher compared to a product or service that costs $39. So this episode about power, it's so fascinating. I can just tell you a lot of people are influenced by people that they like, and these people that you may like, they have that power. Whether it's Tom Cruise in his possible last movie in the Mission Impossible series. If that movie, or when that movie comes out, I think it's out right now, if they say the tickets are $30 because Tom Cruise has some credibility with people over the last probably 10 movies he has done in the Mission Impossible series, people will fork over the money. Or whether you like, perhaps you like Kendrick Lamar or SZA, the recording artist, they're not like us, that kind of thing. So people will pay $75, $150, $300 because these people have some influence or power over you. I mean, they're not using it against you. They're using it in a way that they know that they have influenced you in the past with their great music, great, movies, just the influence they have over you. Same thing for pastors, same thing for community leaders. If a community leader or pastor has had a great experience or a great influence over you, then you're more likely to agree with it. Well, the same thing is true when it comes to moving a product or service. And the best way to move that product or service is to prospect. Now, I must admit, most small business owners selling big ticket items have no experience in prospecting, but prospecting is power. And I would like for the next maybe a few minutes, a short podcast episode, talk about why prospecting is power. And this information comes from the 321 Biz Development 6 to 9 hour sales system business development training. So what you're hearing now is like a short excerpt of what past clients, past salespeople, business owners, attorneys, CPAs have heard to help them in their business. So let's begin. So prospecting is power, such as, developing power. It's like building your muscles. The more you prospect, whether the person says yes or no, the more power you gain. The less you prospect, the more power you lose. So what that means is, if your goal is, you say to yourself, I got to start prospecting for business. Now, what is prospecting? For those who might be new to the 321 Biz Development System, prospecting is after a contact has made some type of statement about a possible need or want for your product or service, that's the time that you need to prospect, not before. So again, 321 BizTab has a series of things that you do called the five front end sales activities for white collar small business owners selling big ticket items. So again, the more you prospect, the more you say, I want to prospect, I need to prospect, the more power you gain. It's like when you go to the gym, even if you start lifting some type of weight, maybe it's like, 50 pounds or 100 pounds, the more you do it, whether or not you are lifting the most weight in the gym, doesn't matter, you're gaining power. Now, when you say, I need to start prospecting, you make a goal and to do it, but you don't do it, then you start losing potential power. So when you exercise your power, you increase your power potential. Again, even if the prospect says no, because when you prospect, a person might say, "No, Marilyn, no, Doug, I'm not interested this time." Great, the person said no, but you did it. So that's how you're building your muscle, you're building your power. Every prospecting attempt gives you more power. See, when you don't use your power, let's say for instance, you say, I need to start prospecting, and you talk to yourself and you say, yes, I need to start prospecting. Before you start prospecting, when you say you want to do it, that power sits in a neutral space. It's almost like that game that goes around gobbling up, different things. I can't think of the name of the game right now. It'll probably come to me after the episode. But power sits out there in a neutral place, and it says, Clarence, are you ready to use me or not? And if you say yes, it's available for you. If you say no, you don't want to use it, then it just sits there, and it's like a battery that is never used. It starts losing the potential. So every potential prospect engagement has 1 unit of power to receive. So when you're out in public or have access to business owners' phone numbers, and that's like if you're calling B2B, business owners, there are opportunities to increase your power. You see, the well-prepared salesperson has lots of power. The well-prepared salesperson's success is undeniable. And that's because the more you prospect, the more confident you get, and you move through the learning curve where you may see people and they may see you in a couple of weeks, after they've seen you in a certain spot, and they may start coming up to you because they heard you prospect someone else. So the well-prepared salesperson's success is undeniable. And this is one of the hardest things for new business owners and salespersons to understand, but we help you with the 6 to 9 hour 321 Biz Development course. When I say new, I don't necessarily mean new to your business. I mean new to prospecting. You can be in the business, your industry 20 years and have never prospected, and maybe your business is not doing so well, So we will help you learn how to prospect. And then the final bullet point, the ill-prepared salesperson's potential to succeed is at risk if you know you should prospect and you don't. And because you're listening to this episode, I am planting the seed that you need to start prospecting. So when you're out prospecting and you have this power, the prospect will acknowledge power and will follow your instructions. So again, when you get your prospecting confidence up, regardless if the person says yes or no at the beginning, because maybe they don't need your product or service, but if you connect with someone who might need your product or service, that person will acknowledge your power and will follow your instructions. Have you ever met someone who has had influence and they say, Marilyn, this is what we need to do. And you say, you know what? I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to do it. So the prospect does not respect lack of power and will not follow your instructions. And I see this sometimes when the potential customer, or they call it a lead. I don't use that word. We don't use that word in professional selling, lead. And once you take our course, I will explain why we don't use that word. But for the context of this episode, I will say the lead or the prospect does not respect lack of power and will not follow your instructions. And that's primarily because maybe you didn't prospect. Maybe you sent an email, or you sent a text, or you posted something on social media, and now that prospect is kind of like in your face, and they may want to do something, but right now, when that person is like in your space, they're looking for your power. And if you don't have it, you most likely won't close the deal or move to the next step. So prospecting is power. The steps to begin building power. You must believe in your product. Your product must provide unquestionable value. Your product or service must do exactly what you claim. And you must have a system and a plan. So prospecting is power, belief, value, claim, and a plan. But the belief is, will your product do what it's supposed to do without fail? That's kind of like the claim also. Value. Will your new clients be better off with your product or service than without your product or service? That's the true meaning of value. And plan. Does your marketing plan or sales system work? See, if you have all those things clear in your head, especially the plan, people can, your potential customers will know if you have a plan, because when you communicate and you ask them questions, that potential customer or client will say, Doug has done this before. He's not new. Even if you're new, the 3-2-1 Biz Development System can make you look like you've done this before, because you have a great sales system that works. So can you clearly see the beginning and the end of your marketing plan or sales system? Now, we have a great training segment that talks about the beginning and the end of your marketing plan or sales system. So if you can see the beginning and the end of your marketing plan, if yes, you will have confidence in your marketing or sales system. If you cannot see the beginning and the end of your marketing plan or sales system, you will not have confidence in the marketing plan or sales system. So this concludes this episode on power. Again, my name is Clarence Napier, the insurance broker licensed in multiple states, and I'm also the president at 321bizdev.com. The best number to reach me is 866-901-9876. Thanks for listening on May 26th, Memorial Day. Make it a great week. Bye-bye.